Oh, hello there. I'm Bilchan.
I'm Nimikung.
I'm Banchan.
In this class, I read to all of you Chapter 8, Section 4 of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
As.
Ah.
The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Author Conan Doyle. Chapter 8, Section 4. Conan. They were on the upper floor. Could command a view of the Avenue Gate. Stockmore Manor House. At the Squeesaw Doctor. Ramsby Roylott drive past. In. The boy had some slight difficulty in undoing the heavy iron gates. Woodley shook his clenched fists at him. The truck drove on. The lamp was lit in one of the sitting rooms. Do you know? Holmes, as we sat together in the gathering darkness, asked taking you tonight. You speak of danger. Well, fancy that I may have to just a little more. The bell roped. Use of the ventilator. Yes. Wounds. Oh. Yes. I did. Said that her sister could smell doctor. Roylott's cigar. Anne. That suggested at once that there must be a communication between the two rooms. It could only be a small one. At the coroner's inquiry. Well, dates. A ventilator is made. The cord is hung. Who sleeps in the bed dies. It was clamped to the floor. Lady could not move her bed. Positioned to the ventilator and to the rope, we may call it. I cried. I seem to see dimly what you are hinting at. Enough and horrible enough. Of criminals. He has nerve and he has knowledge. Among the heads of their profession. This man strikes even deeper. Thanked him. Watson. That we shall be able to strike deeper still. We shall have hers enough before the night is over. Light among the trees was extinguished. The manor house. 2 hours passed slowly away. And then, suddenly, just at the stroke of 11, front of us. That is our signal, said Holmes, springing to his feet. As we passed out, he exchanged a few words with the landlord. We were going on a late visit to an acquaintance. Possible that we might spend the night there. On the dark road. The chill wind blowing in our faces. Sombre and there was little difficulty in entering the grounds. In the old park wall. Making our way among the trees. The lawn. Crossed it. And distorted child. Ran swiftly across the lawn into the darkness. My God, I whispered. For the moment as startled as I. My rest in his agitation. His lips to my ear. It is a nice household, he murmured. Forgotten the strange bets which the doctor effected. There was Cheetah. 2. Perhaps we might find it upon our shoulders at any moment. That I felt easier in my mind when, off my shoes, I found myself inside the bedroom. The shutters, moved the lamp onto the table. The room, all was as we had seen it in the daytime. Creeping up to me and making a trumpet of his hand. The words. I nodded to show that I had heard. We must sit without light. I nodded again. Do not go asleep. Have your pistol ready in case we should need it. Sit on the side of the bed. If on the corner of the table. Holmes had brought up a long thin cane, and this he placed upon the bed beside him. The wax of matches and the stump of a candle. The lamp. And we were left in darkness. Dreadful vigil? I could not hear a sound. A breath. And yet I knew that my companion sat open-eyed. Few feet of me was myself. The shutters cut off the least ray of light. Waited in absolute darkness. From outside came the occasional cry of a night bird. Once at our very window a long-drawn cat like whine. The cheetah was indeed at liberty. A parish squawk, which boomed out every quarter of an hour. On they seemed, those quarters, to have struck. They. And still we sat waiting silently for whatever might befall. The momentary gleam of a light up in the direction of the ventilator vanished immediately. Metal. Someone in the next room had lit a dark lantern. Gentle sound of movement. And then all was silent once more. The smell grew stronger. For half an hour I sat with straining ears. Suddenly another sound became audible, very gentle. Soothing sound. Small jet of steam escaping continually from a kettle. Holmes sprang from the bed. Struck a match. With his king at the bulb pull. You see it. Watson, he yelled. I saw nothing. Low. Clear whistle. Savagely. I could, however, filled with horror and loathing. Horrible cry to which I have ever listened. It swelled up louder and louder. Dreadful shriek. They say that away down in the village. The distant parsonage. That cry raised the sleepers from their beds. Cold to our hearts. And I stood gazing at Holmes. Then, which it rose. What can it mean? I gasped. Over Holmes answered. And perhaps, after all, it is for the best. Take your pistol, and we will enter, Doctor. He lit the lamp and led the way down the corridor. At the chamber door without any reply from within. And entered. I at his heels. With the cocked pistol in my hand. It was a singular sight which met our eyes. Dr. Clapton with the shutter half open. Iron safe. The door of which was ajar. Beside this table, the wooden chair, sat the octave. Brian Speverlock clad in a long grey dressing gown, his bare ankles protruding beneath. The puppet had noticed during the day, fixed in a dreadful, rigid stare at the corner of the ceiling. His brow he had a peculiar yellow bend, with brownish buzz, to be bound tightly round his head, More motion. The bench. The Speckled bend, whispered Holmes. I took a step forward. In an instant his strange headgear began to move. From among his hair the squat diamond-shaped head puffed neck of a loathsome serpent. It is a swamp adder, cried Holmes. The deadliest snake in India. Has died within 10 seconds of being bitten. Violence does, in truth, recoil upon the violent. For another, let us thrust this creature back into its den. Spoke, he drew the dog whip swiftly from the dead man's lap. Noose round the reptile's neck, he drew it from its horrid perch, it at arm's length, straight into the iron safe. Upon it, such are the true facts of the death of Doctor Grimesby Rillot of Stoke Moran, said Noose to the terrified girl, to the care of her aunt at Harrow, playing with the dangerous pet. The case was told me by Sherlock Holmes as we travelled back next day. Added, said he, come to an entirely erroneous conclusion which shows, Watson, how dangerous it always is to reason from insufficient data. Of the gypsies, the poor girl, no doubt. A hurried glimpse of by the light of her match, me upon an entirely wrong scent. Instantly reconsidered my position when, however, the door, my attention was speedily drawn. You. To this ventilator. The discovery that this was a dummy, clamped to the floor. There is a bridge for something passing through the hole and coming to the bed. The idea of a snake instantly occurred to me. Indeed, I felt that I was probably on the right track. Who had had an Eastern training take effect would also, from his point of view, be an advantage. It would be a sharp-eyed corner. Indeed, dark punctures which would show where the puss and fens had done their work. I thought of a whistle. Morning light revealed it to the victim. He had trained it. The use of the milk which we saw, to return to him when summoned. He would put it through this ventilator hour that he thought best. That it might or might not bite the occupant every night for a week, but sooner or later she must fill a victim. I had come to these conclusions before ever I had entered his room. On it, the ventilator, the sight of the safe, the saucer of milk, the loop of whip would enough to finally dispel any doubts which may have remained, closing the door of his safe upon its terrible occupant. My mind, matter to the proof, that you did also, upon its master at the other side. To be continued.